Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to, what's it called again?
Welcome to Sit Still and Listen. Our faces are in front of you. This is probably very, very strange, but we live in a... And I'm Sarah Cornell. Hi.
In case you didn't know, most of you know.
In case maybe you thought we were switched, maybe they were like, oh, she's Beth Cornell.
Yeah.
No.
Welcome to the first
quarantine episode, I guess.
pandemic episode.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Neither one of us are sick, but we are self-isolating. So
yeah.
Sarah's in her apartment, and I am in my actual studio that I give classes from. So here we are.
I'm currently in my closet. So if the audio sounds really good, it's because I've got a lot of clothes muffling the sound.
Your audio sounds good from here.
Good. Very good.
And the video looks pretty good. It's a little fuzzy on my side. But
you're fuzzy on my side too. I think it's just...
Oh, well. Yeah. C'est la vie. I'll try to fix that.
It'll hide the blemishes.
Yeah, on my beauty marks. So this week, we were supposed to be on a Disney cruise. And, of course, nobody's on a Disney cruise.
It got canceled.
If you are on a cruise, I'm sorry, you're probably stuck on that cruise.
Yeah, and you may or may not have COVID-19. We haven't really...
Right. So I hope everybody who listens to us is well and not on a cruise.
Stay safe.
Yeah. So, Sarah, maybe I can just ask you to kind of explain why you like to cruise so much. What's the attraction? A lot of people right now are like, I wouldn't have went anyway, and now I really wouldn't go. But I think you and I both will go again.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think we have we've never been, we should preface this, we've never been on a Carnival cruise before, and we've never been on like the bigger cruise line, like the more like well-known cruise line ships. Yeah. Like, yeah, a lot of people like those. We've never been on them before. The only cruise line that we've ever cruised with is Disney. It's the Disney Cruise Line. And if you've ever been to Disneyland or Disney World, their cruises are very similar to the experience that you get when you're on their cruise line. Like it's similar to like the experience you get when you're in their parks. Excuse me. So it's very like everything is kind of already taken care of. Everything's already set up. You just have to get there. And I don't know, it's really nice. Like everything just kind of feels like it's going to be okay. Like,
yeah, it definitely is like your every need is catered to.
Literally, actually catered to.
We anticipate your needs, so you don't even have to ask. 9 times out of 10, it's already been thought of. So,
yeah.
Another thing is like the seamlessness of the travel. So say a lot of airlines deal with luggage that's going to a Disney resort or a Disney ship. So once you pretty much get your luggage checked in at the airport, you don't touch it again, and it just shows up in your room.
Yeah, it's like magic.
And a lot of people like that because they are older or they have young kids. Both categories don't like to deal with luggage. We travel pretty light, so we don't mind it, but that became an advantage when we traveled as a group of 5.
Yeah, oh my lord.
A lot of luggage, more than we could manage.
Worth it.
Long trip. Yeah,
worth every second.
With 5 people and a lot of luggage. Disney handled that luggage perfectly. We never without our stuff, and that was important. So another thing is their level of sanitation on these ships.
Yeah, I've never gotten, I hear a lot of stories from people who are like, oh, I got food poisoning on a cruise and I threw up the whole time, or like, and it was just awful. I've never ever experienced that with Disney Cruise Line. Like, all of their food is just like superb, and like, it's, I don't feel scared ordering the chicken because I know that it's cooked properly and, you know, is held in a kitchen where it, you know, the sanitation is just like off the freaking charts.
Yeah, a lot of people have trouble with the norovirus.
Yeah.
And that's also a stomach virus. And, you know, does it happen? Yeah. But
Yeah.
it's also preventable. You wash your hands.
Yeah.
They also have a lot of wipes everywhere. They have hand sanitizer stations. They have constant sanitation people in every public restroom. Your stateroom host comes in and it totally cleans your bathroom twice a day. So is it possible to catch these? Are they there? Yes, but it's harder to.
Yeah.
And we're aware of it. So you're taking care of your hand hygiene and all the things we're talking about right now is all done on that ship.
Yeah.
And in the resorts and parks too. It's actually kind of hard to get sick there.
Yeah.
Although we've traveled with people who have been sick there, and that's
right here. Different kind of sick though. Definitely not because of anything that could have been prevented. I tend to get upper respiratory infections really easily. And anytime we travel to Mexico, the air is just really bad and I tend to get upper respiratory infections. So I end up being sick and sequester myself to the stateroom and try not to move.
We are really not going on a cruise until we know that if Sarah comes down with something,
it doesn't look remotely like the coronavirus.
Quarantined, and we're not going to get held for 14 days somewhere just to make sure it's not coronavirus.
It's only trips to Mexico though, because when we went on a cruise to the Bahamas and Disney's private island, and I was totally fine. The only like sick I got was because I drank too much. I got a wicked sunburn that day. We were on was it Nassau? Yeah. That was the whole reason I was ill, was because I was an idiot.
Well, you had a great time.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That was
stories came out of that trip over to Paradise Island.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Next time we make it over there, I'll go with you. But I opted to stay with Sarah's boyfriend, and we toured. Right off the ship, there were like artists selling their goods, and we toured a bit of the main street and had some drinks, and then got back on the boat and took a nap.
Yep.
But we got some work too.
Yeah.
So we were outside more than maybe 4 hours or something.
Yeah, we ended up, by we I mean me, a friend of ours and her daughter. We went to Atlantis, which is an enormous hotel, museum, casino, water park. And it was actually on a bucket list thing of mine, because I remember watching the commercials as a kid and being like, that looks fucking amazing. That looks so cool and fun. And I really like water parks. So we actually went and we swam with 2 types of dolphins, both ones that were in captivity, and then we got on a little boat, went out, swam with some wild ones. Super fun. And yeah, we ended up getting trapped on one half of the water park at one point, and we had to run all the way back because we were supposed to be leaving. Had to run all the way back to catch the bus.
Yeah, we were wondering if the ship was going to take off without them. That would have been really bad.
We were on the last bus that they offered to take, and it was purely because like we got stuck, and we weren't the only ones who got stuck either, because like the water park works on like a giant lazy river that you ride through, and it takes about 15 minutes to ride the whole thing, and we got maybe halfway around and somebody had pooped in the pool, and they were like evacuating everybody out, And we were like, well, where the hell do we go? And they were like, well, where are you set up at? And I'm like, we have a cabana. And they're like, oh, that's on the other side of the park. You better start running. And we're like, oh, shit.
Then it became like a lazy toilet.
A lazy toilet, yeah. With the same sort of like flushing motion, but nothing ever happens.
Slowly around and around.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they went over and they met wild dolphins, and my friend had her picture taken with a walrus.
No, this is not a walrus. No, it's a seal.
A seal.
Oh, a sea lion. Sea lion. Yes, yes.
Yeah, walrus was different time. She had a picture made with that walrus.
Of course she did.
One of my favorite pictures, yeah. Anyway, because, her and the walrus, yeah. Anyway, it was interesting. Lots of interesting things happened on that trip. I would say, we were going to repeat that trip next summer, but we're looking at the cruise prices just tumbling down. Like,
oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I imagine once people can travel and cruise again, Disney will reestablish some sort of prices, but I'm pretty sure that we're going to be able to get a military rate. We try to get a military rate, which is why we like Disney so much.
Yeah. They take care of military families, that's for sure.
And while we were in the military, we couldn't have a vacation.
Nope.
We barely were able to travel at all. So
we got lucky if we left the house for longer than a day.
And we lived on an Air Force base where we were sort of like, self-isolated. So
feels kind of familiar right about now. Not gonna lie.
So we've had some experiences, and we were really enjoying traveling. So I hope that everything gets lifted and everybody stays well, and we can begin to travel again. And I do see that in the future, but maybe not for a year or maybe two.
Yeah, a long time from now.
It feels, super safe or whatever. But yeah, we have some considerations for immune compromise. We have Sarah, and then my husband. So, and our friends too. Both are. So
yeah,
I'm pretty the only one who would possibly weather this well.
Yeah.
I contracted it, and I'm 53-ish. 53, so that's not exactly young.
I'm 26, and if I get bad air, I go down for 2 weeks. So
yeah, so we're pretty much trying to avoid it, and we're dreaming of the day when we can travel again. The trip that we had planned for this summer wasn't Mexico. The Mexico one was in this month, and that was going to be for my birthday, which is like next week. And yeah, well, that did.
Happy birthday! I didn't forget.
I know.
I might have forgotten. Who knows?
Get yours quite often. Sorry. I was on a lot of drugs that day.
I'm gonna put you this way. Sorry if this is jarring for everybody, but
no, it's fine.
My legs are falling asleep. I'm sitting on the ground in my closet.
You're gonna have to find a better spot, or make that spot more comfortable. Maybe.
Yeah, that's the option there. Make the spot more comfortable. I have boxes that I could potentially use as like a mini desk for my computer. That might be better.
Yeah, I actually have my computer on my singing bowl boxes.
There you go.
Yeah, it's just the right height, and then my background drop cloth is actually a giant sheet of mandala.
I figure you guys would probably be more comfortable seeing the doorway rather than like
all your clothes.
The mass expanse of clothing that I have, yes.
Yeah, and I think we both need a haircut now.
Oh yeah, it's official.
Evident in our hairstyle.
Yeah, right here.
I may start to wear my hair like in pebbles kind of. Yeah,
you have bangs. That's the worst. I just have like a clump of hair.
I had bangs. Now I have just this giant mass of hair that falls forward. Anyway, to get back on topic with cruising, we had booked a cruise, and this is super unfortunate, but we had booked a cruise where in June we would fly into Rome, Italy, and stay there for a day or two, and then cruise through the Greek Isles and Croatia and in that area, and then come back to Rome and stay there and explore and have all this good time, good food, good wine, awesome time, great weather. However, they were hit really hard, really fast by this virus. And so far, they haven't canceled that cruise. We canceled it quite some time ago.
Oh, yeah.
We decided it wasn't really in our budget for summer, and that we had some other plans going on that we didn't really want to try to fit it in. You know, we wanted to have.
Yeah, if we're, you don't want to like rush a vacation,
Not a big overseas trip.
No.
Have jet lag on either side of it. Yeah, we know that from our Japan trip.
I'll do it again. I will do it again in a heartbeat. In fact, I actually was thinking about it the other day, and I thought, if they're going to host the Olympics next year, I'm going to be in Japan next year. So I'm probably going to go to the Japan Olympics just because I can.
It's a great goal, and more power to you. I hope you get to go. But yeah, it's awesome over there.
I'm thinking about taking Panda with me.
Oh, hey, that would be interesting.
It'd be so fun. It'd be so fun.
For who?
Definitely not for him. He'll be like, oh God, take me home. This sucks. What do you mean there's not Mexican food?
Well, that trip unfortunately was canceled, and we were looking at Alaska as well, because we canceled this one. So Sarah has never been on an Alaskan cruise.
I don't like being cold. My comfort zone is 2 inches long and 2 inches wide, and basically any step outside of that is just the worst thing in the world. And I attribute Alaska with bald eagles and cold. So
the Inside Passage is actually up alongside Canada, so it's not as far north as the part of Alaska where
that I'm thinking of.
That you're thinking of. It's not that far north, and this part is actually a rainforest. Did you know that? So their temperatures do get frigid, but not in the summertime. We had really sunny days. We had a one day in Juneau where it snowed and it was cold, but we got out in it. It wasn't so cold that we don't have jackets. We're from Arizona.
Yeah, we're from Arizona.
We had layers though. We had a t-shirt, a long sleeve shirt, and like a windbreaker, and hats and gloves.
I have.
We went hiking.
Yeah.
So
I have a winter coat, and it was gifted to me by my grandfather because he felt bad that I didn't have a proper coat because it was snowing when we visited him last.
Right. Well, bring that coat, Sarah.
Yeah.
You'll be fine. We slept really good because it was colder, and the Inside Passage is kind of bumpy. Waves. It's kind of like because you're between two land masses, the water's kind of sloshing around a lot. So, we slept good on that cruise because it was rocking you to sleep. And we had really great weather for the glacier watching. We cruised the ship right up to the glacier, and you could go on an excursion and actually walk on the glacier or take a boat out closer to the glacier and watch the pieces calf off of it into the ocean. So, we ended up doing an excursion out of Ketchikan, which was, I think, my favorite stop out of the three, which were Juneau, Ketchikan, and Skagway. Skagway, there's nothing there except a bar, and we walked the entire town, and I think we went into an art store and bought some markers for the little artist that was with us. And we went to a bar and had some beers. And then we got back on the ship. But so there's not much to do there. I think there's a train there, but it was way too hot. The train didn't have air conditioning, so we opted not to do that. But in Ketchikan, we got on a boat, and it was a small boat, and we went out into the ocean, and we saw whales, and we saw a ton of eagles, like you said. We got a whole tour from this man and his two young adult children. It was awesome. They fed us lunch. My friend drove the boat for a little bit. I took a nap. There was a cat or a dog or maybe both on the ship. Yeah, it's interesting. And there's maybe 10 people besides us on there. So it was very small, intimate outing, kind of like a Gilligan's Island kind of. I think you guys would like something like that.
Yeah, Tyler wanted to go.
You know, and he likes seeing the wildlife. There were tours where you could hike and see bears, and
he'd be afraid of bears. He wouldn't. He doesn't do bears. He himself might be a panda bear, but bears, no.
I think it's the second week in June when the salmon come in. And,
you get to watch them catch the salmon swimming upstream, all that stuff.
You can watch the salmon swim upstream. They swim. There's a big giant creek that they swim. I guess
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it looked like the creek. Yeah. It was very. And I imagine Stinky once they're there. They weren't there when we were there. Yeah, we went really early in the season. We went like last week of May.
Yeah.
And I hear the whole month of Junto is beautiful weather-wise. July, late July, it starts to get a little colder, maybe rainy, but rain's to be expected in a rainforest, though.
Yeah, we're not used to that, or at least I'm not. I grew up in arid, barely raining places.
It does feel damp and different up there. Yeah.
Japan felt different. So
Japan was very damp as well.
Yeah, I imagine it would feel like Japan, but cold as hell.
Not cold as hell, but yeah, like Japan. Yeah. That level of humidity. Japan, I think, was more like Florida.
Yeah, tropical.
Yeah, we went to Japan in between two typhoons, so
yeah,
lucky us, we missed that.
Almost. We almost missed it because when we were in Hakone, the second typhoon hit. That's why it was raining when we came back. Do you not remember that?
I do remember that, but I thought that was mild compared to what was happening in the southern part of Japan.
Oh yeah, we were getting hit with like the cast-off typhoon nonsense, basically.
We were on the side of the typhoon that wasn't as powerful.
Yeah.
So some updates about what's happening with the podcast. It will be broadcast as a YouTube channel now too.
Yep.
We went with what is it called?
Buzzsprout, yes.
Yeah, we went with them for a year, so we're signed up to do these for a year. Sarah and I are still developing like the content of it. We like this format, but I was thinking more of a story format. So we're going to be adjusting, or at least I am, since it's my podcast.
Yeah, there will be a shift. We don't know what the shift is really going to look like just yet, but we're working on it.
Right now, the shift is just getting used to being distanced, and we don't know how long we're going to have to do this for.
Yeah.
If this is going to be it, or if this is going to be how we're going to do it. We're open to different things at this moment.
Yeah, hey, if you have suggestions about, how to do...
We do have a phone number. I wish I had it with me.
You don't have the phone number. Don't worry. We'll link it in the description of the video.
Yeah.
There you go.
And you can always post comments on Facebook as well. I believe there's a comment section there. We don't always get out to all the services that this is broadcast through to read things, and apologies for that. But if it's really urgent, you should try to look up the Buzzsprout page or the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Leave your message there.
Yeah, she monitors the Buzzsprout, and I monitor the YouTube side of it because I'm the video girl. I'm the one who edits.
Are there any parting words or affiliates? Right now, our affiliates are kind of on hold, except for Audible, which will be linked below. We're working on some new affiliations.
Yep. If you are looking for an escape, I've mentioned it before in a previous podcast. If you're looking for an escape and you have a Nintendo Switch, I highly recommend Animal Crossing New Horizons. It makes everything feel a little less isolated, I guess. You live on an island with a bunch of anthropomorphic animals, and they're really nice, and it's just a wholesome experience. It just makes you feel good. So go play Animal Crossing New Horizons. Or Final Fantasy VII. Either way, both are good.
Sounds good. And as far as for me, I would say go to my meditation channel, and I'll link it down below. Sign up for the weekly class. Drop in once or twice. Learn some new techniques on how to cope and de-stress, because stress knocks down your immune system and then you're toast. Whatever little buggies are flying around are going to get up your nose and make you sick. So meditate. Don't medicate, meditate.
Unless, of course, you take medication, in which case, please take your meds.
Well, then you could do both. Okay, I guess that's it.
Okie dokie. Bye, everybody.
Yeah.
Bye.